So thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. So just like Sam has already said, it would be nice if I would be seeing the faces of those I'm talking to. But if you can't, no problems. But if you're in a quiet way, oh, to me, sir, to me, share or to me, sir, which one? Can you correct me? It just went off. All right.
It's Tumisha.
Tumisha, how are you? Can you turn on your camera again? Why did you turn it off? You were looking nice. All right, so how is everybody doing today? So this is a youth class, so we expect the class to be interactive, you know, right? And not just a lecture. Yes, Tumisha and Shope. Hope I got that one right. Yes. So we are going to go straight into the teaching. I'm going to share my slide so that we can be able to follow through, okay? Host disabled participant screen sharing.
You can share now.
All right. All right, can we see my slides?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much. So today we are going to talk about cultivating a healthy lifestyle. That's the topic for today. So first of all, what do we mean by cultivating a healthy lifestyle? It sounds so simple, but many times people tend to actually miss those apparently very simple things. So today we are going to talk about how we can acquire and how we can develop, for those who already have been practicing some sort of healthy lifestyles, how we can be able to develop on those lifestyles. So for a start, can someone give us the basic, that is the standard definition of health? This is a youth class, and I believe some of us are in science class. Some of us have done biology, some are already in university. So at least we should know the basic definition of health by WHO. So can someone, one of us, give us the definition? This is a youth class. It should be very interactive. Not Sam, not Boke, any other person. Please give us the definition of health. We are waiting.
Tumisha has his hand up.
Who is that? I can't see. Sorry, I can't see. I'm sharing my screen.
Tumisha.
Please, Tumisha, can you answer?
It's the characteristics of your body and how good they are.
All right. That's a good one. You know, one thing I enjoy, I'm a children teacher in my church. One thing I enjoy about teaching the children is that when you ask them for a definition of something, they explain it in their own way to show that they went through their dictionary or wherever they went through, understood it, and then gave you their own definition. So that's a good one. Well, we also want, can someone else give us a standard definition of health by WHO, the World Health Organization? Who knows? Does anyone know? Please, Boke, if you don't mind, please let me know if anyone raises his or her hand, because I cannot. Precious F wants to.
Sorry. Yeah, I was already speaking. I said health is the physical well-being, and it could also be the mental well-being, mental well-being of the body. Yeah.
That's close. That's close. We are doing well. Can someone else step it up for us? That's close. We are doing very well. Someone else wants to give it a try before we go there? All right, let's go. So this is the definition of health. It's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity, just like Precious told us. It's not just, remember, man is a tripartite being. We have the spirit, the soul, and the body. So it's not just the physical. You know, many times when we talk about health, people be like, oh, this person is not sick, so he or she is healthy. Yes, that's part of it, but that is just one section of it, the physical health. So what about the other parts, the mental and the social well-being? Even the world understands the importance of these other parts of human body and understood that this is a fundamental human right, that no matter the race, no matter the age, no matter the stage of life anybody is in, no matter the religion, the political belief whatsoever, that everybody is supposed to have to live in good health. That is a fundamental human right. And one thing you have to understand is that they are closely linked together. If you say, okay, I have a very good physical health, healthy lifestyle, my physical health is good, but the mental health and the social health is not good. Somehow it affects the physical health because they are linked together. They don't just operate on their own. So that is where we should take care of all this together as we go. So why exactly are we studying this today? Because of the benefits that we get from living a healthy lifestyle. We have the personal benefits, and we also have the benefits to the society, to our community. So what are the personal benefits for yourself, for myself, when I live a healthy lifestyle? When I live a healthy lifestyle, when I'm healthy, I have increased energy. You wake up every morning, you are so energized, and you can be able to stay active and achieve whatever you want to do during the day. You have your goals, you're supposed to go to school, you're supposed to do your assignments when you get back home, stay alert in class. When you are healthy all around, you're able to stay alert in class, you're able to do all you're supposed to do. When you come back, you still do your assignments and still be able to perform at the maximum level. And when you are doing that way, you yourself will be satisfied with yourself. When you look at yourself, when you come back during the day, you take count of what you've done and be like, yes, I did so well. Yes, you clap for yourself, you did so well. That is one reason why we should be able to make sure that we live a healthy lifestyle at all points. Another thing is that we improve our social relationships. Remember, social health is one of the aspects of health. When you live a healthy lifestyle through every part, it could be exercise or whatever, you tend to interact with your colleagues, with other friends, with other boys and girls in school, in the church. You get to interact with everyone, and then you improve your social relationships, which helps you always. And then not just that, you're also able to make decisions. You have a better decision-making capacity. Why do you think they usually say, do not drink and drive? Who can tell me? Why do you think the police would usually say, don't drink and drive? If you know you drank, do not drive. Who can tell me?
Sorry, somebody raised it up here.
Yes, please go ahead.
Polu, go ahead.
The reason that most police tell you not to drink and drive is because drinking impairs your perception of reality. And plus, it sets your spatial reasoning off. And those are two things that you need to be in tip-top shape when you're driving.
Thank you very much. That's a very wonderful answer. At that point, your cognitive balance is impaired, your mental balance is impaired. So you're not able to reason well. You are going to be slow in making decisions. Remember, when someone is driving, it could be on the highway, it could be in the street, someone can easily jump into the street, be it human being or animal, and you need to be able to think fast and decide fast. And when someone has drunk, the person's memory ability to make decisions is impaired. That is why we should be able to always make sure we inculcate, and not just that, live a healthy lifestyle at all points. Then what are the benefits to the society? They say there's love in sharing. You learn these things, you learn how good it is, and then you also share with others. Everybody generally learns to live a healthy lifestyle. Everybody is happy together. We enjoy our lives together, and then it reduces the health costs. Can you just imagine, okay, I live in Vancouver. I know there's a place called Burnaby Center for Mental Health and Addiction. Just imagine the people, that hospital is not there, because when you think of things that lead most people there, it's mostly drinking, smoking, which are very unhealthy lifestyle. They know that these lifestyles are unhealthy, but somehow it's difficult to get out of it because they are already addicted. That's why it's actually not good to enter. That's why we are talking about cultivating. We need to learn to build, to cultivate, to plant those seeds of healthy lifestyle. Because if you say, okay, let me do some of those things, let me see what it's like, then later on I'll now start. It might be difficult at that point. And then imagine the cost, what is costing the government? What is even costing the individual? Because when the person is there, the person is impaired, the person cannot really do much. One, it's costing the government a lot, for like somewhere in Canada where there is relatively free healthcare system to essential services. If it's in a country like where most of us are from, Nigeria, where you have to pay out of the pocket most times, you know how much it's going to cost the person. That is why you see so many of them roaming on the streets, because they've lived so much unhealthy lifestyle. That is why we are talking about this today, so we can be able to work on ourselves, and God helping us, we'll be able to do things that will benefit ourselves and the society. And another thing is about improving environmental conditions. You live healthy lifestyles, be it biking, be it walking, you reduce the environmental pollution. And then you make it easier, make the planet healthier and in good condition for future generations. You know, we are not just living, as we live, we'll pass through this life. If Jesus tarries, we'll pass through life. And then our children yet unborn, great-grandchildren, they'll still come. What would they look back to and be like, is this the way mommy and daddy left the world for them? So these are the reasons why we should do this. So now we are going to remember we talked about the three aspects, the physical health, the mental health, and then the social health. So that is where we are going to talk about them today. So we are going to take the first one, the physical health. So what are the ways? We want to be practical today, not just, we know all the theories sometimes, we know some of the theories, but we're going to talk of practical ways that we can be able to cultivate, because when we say cultivate, someone you get, even in the village then, you get the seeds, you go with your hoe, you go, it is a work. It is a labor. You go there, you cultivate, it's an activity. So we're going to talk of practical ways to be able to do this. So one is the physical health. The recommendation is to be able to do regular 150 minutes walk per week. You might say, oh, that's too much, but let's divide it. This is 150 minutes. 150 divided by 5 is what? Our math students. 150 divided by 5 is what?
30?
30.
Yes, 30 minutes. You can do 30 minutes walk every day. Okay, let me take myself for example. From where I live to the bus stop where I go to work is about 10 minutes walk. So I tell myself I walk 10 minutes to and fro. Okay, I even have another 5 minutes from where the bus stops me to my workplace. So that's like 15 in the morning, 15 in the evening. I make my 30 minutes already. And sometimes, most times at work during the break time, I still take walks. Sometimes I take up to 30 minutes walk during the day during the break time at work. So like that, if I think 30 minutes is too much, but when you are intentional about it, even if it is by walking around the house, taking a walk in your dog, taking a walk in the yard, just be intentional and live your life intentionally. When you do that, we see that you'll be able to achieve that and more. Another way to be able to have a good physical health is what? Balanced diet. Why do we need to be? This diagram I put here is the Canada's food guide. I brought it because this is the recommendation by the government of Canada. This is the Canada's food guide for what we are supposed to be eating. If you look at this plate, this is what there is being recommended, how we should eat. If you look at this plate, half of it is what? Have plenty, they said, have plenty vegetables and fruits. That is why if you divide your plate into 4, half. So half of the plate first should be fruits and vegetables. Then 1/4 of the plate should be what? Protein foods. The other quarter should be what? Whole grain foods. And then make water your drink of choice. Make water your beverage of choice. Not, oh, okay, we drink wine every evening with our dinner. No. Make water your drink of choice. Let it be your beverage of choice. And why do we say this? Both the healthy activities, both the balanced diet, it helps us. You strengthen your muscles and bones. You burn excess calories when you exercise, which is very healthy. And it helps you to reduce and be able to control, for those that already developed high blood pressure, cholesterol, high glucose, whatever, it helps you to, as a child, it helps us prevent the development of those diseases, which is very good for us when we also eat healthy. And it helps us, there are just so many benefits to eating healthy and doing a regular exercise, and we know that you have that personal satisfaction in yourself. So we should try our best to always stay active. As a truth, no matter how much you do, no matter whatever, try your best to always stay active. If you stop walking, then you stop walking. Okay, if you stop walking, then you stop working. That's your body will stop working, W-O-R-K. The first is W-O-L-K. Someone said if you stop walking, then you stop walking, because your body will kind of deteriorate. You might not know it, but it's a slow pace. It happens slowly. That is why we should do our best to be able to walk around, eat healthy diet, try to do as much as you can. Try to find a way, because you might think, oh, there's nothing I can do, everything, I want to eat everything that is in the house. But no, you should be able to find a way and do something about it. It's very helpful. And when we do that, try as much as you can to be able to avoid all these sugary drinks. They cause dental decay, they lead to obesity, they lead to increased incidences of type 2 diabetes. So why don't we avoid those things? And the truth is, the advertisements are usually channeled towards the children, the adolescents, the teenagers. They want to they make it the way that is so fancy fun. They now be like, mommy, buy me this, daddy, buy me this. But tell yourself, no, it's not healthy for me. I need to drink more water to increase the hydration and then reduce these sugary drinks because it's not safe for you. It's not safe for me. That is the reason why we should be able to avoid these things. Some people might say, oh, okay, little alcohol. No. Before they used to say little alcohol is good for the heart, but newer studies have showed us that it's not even healthy at all, none at all. One, it doesn't even contribute, give you any, it's of no little or no nutritive value. And then it gives you lots of calories, which you now at the end try to work out to burn it off. And it leads to increased types of cancer. One especially is which is liver cancer. Liver cancer is usually alcoholic liver disease. So that is the reason, one of the reasons why we should be able to avoid it. And then healthy eating, talk about healthy eating patterns. What do we mean by that? Ask yourself, how do I eat? How much food do I eat? That is where portion control comes into play. Why do I eat? Do you eat because, you know, some people, it's when they have mood swings, mood changes, they don't feel like they now eat just to be able to make themselves happy. No, at that point, you're harming yourself because you eat so much. And then some people, after eating so much, they now realize themselves, they now try to induce vomiting. Some people will now have bulimia. Some people, after binging, they will now induce vomiting and bulimia. While some people, they will even be scared of getting fat, decide not to eat at all, like the anorexia nervosa people. No, ask yourself, why do I eat? What exactly am I eating? Look at the recommendation. What am I eating? What are the components of the food I am eating? Am I just eating just carbohydrates, morning, afternoon, night? Or do you mix it up in the right proportion? What exactly are you eating? When do you eat? Some of you say, yes, I'm trying to reduce, but 11 p.m., 12 p.m., you'll be walking around in the kitchen looking for what you're going to eat. If you don't see food, already prepared food, you look for the biscuits, you look for the bread, open the fridge, looking for all sorts of things. Take drinks and take. When do you eat? All these things matter. We should learn to cook more often. That is also one of the recommendations. Some of us are used to, there are so many, like when you're walking along the street, there are just so many restaurants. Like it's so fashioned in a way in Canada that you can decide not to cook and you still eat morning, afternoon, night every day. They have the breakfast restaurants. They have the ones for dinner, for lunch. Like they make it so easy that people can easily eat out. But when you do that, you're actually loading yourself because of the kind of food that they sell there. You load yourself with more calories, which will now be a problem in the future. So if you can learn to cook more often, cook your own food. When you cook your own food, you can regulate the quantity of ingredients you're putting there. Is it the quantity of salt? You can regulate it. Is it the quantity of the spices? You can regulate it yourself. You know what you're cooking. And you know you're eating healthy things. Then eat meals with others. Most of us, thankfully, we are in our families, we live with our family members. So when you eat with others, there's that love. Remember, we're also building social relationships. You have that more intimate relationship with your brother, with your sister, with your father, with your mother. Many people discuss lots of things on the dining table. We discuss about our day and eat very well. Also learn to check the food labels. All highly processed food, sugary drinks, chocolate, candies, frozen foods, fries. We should try our best to avoid them. Processed meats. Don't let the marketing to influence your choice of meal or the choice of food you eat. You should learn to prepare our food better in a more healthier way. Steaming, baking, boiling, instead of frying. Stop frying your stew, why not boil it? Those things I try to reduce the fried things you do, so as to reduce the added fat that you are giving to yourself. That's one thing that is very important. So make sure you don't eat when you are too hungry, because one thing, when you leave yourself to get too hungry before you eat, you now have to overload yourself. And then when you're eating, don't, at the first feeling of fullness, it's better you stop at that point. You don't eat so much that you have to now loosen your pants and be like, hey, this food is so sweet, I will eat more. You loosen your pants and continue eating. No, that is not good. Another thing about physical health is clean environment. Remember, cleanliness is next to godliness. That is why we should make sure to look at what is happening in the world today. As much as possible, it's helping us to be able to maintain clean environments, of washing our hands. They'll tell us to wash our hands, sanitize, wipe everywhere down. It's important, clean environment. It helps us in all angles. Now I want to put up this thing about, can someone read this part for me? The projected life expectancy. I want us to read it out. So we'll say.
Oh, let's go. Oh, hello. Oh, Diago. Oh.
Who is reading it? All right, let's go. Our time is going. The projected life expectancy at age 50 years was on average 14 years longer among female Americans with 5 low-risk factors compared with those with 0 low-risk factors. For men, the difference was 12.2 years. This is a relatively recent paper. It was in 2018. About the impact of healthy lifestyle on life expectancies. The 5 low-risk factors they used were smoking, body mass index, we know the normal between 18.5 and 24.9, which depends on your weight and your height, and then physical activity, alcohol intake, and then good diet. When they calculated it, so that those that had 0, like they don't do all these things, that the women were more likely to have live 14 more years than those that had these risk factors. And the men were more likely to live 12 more years, 12.2 more years. You know, can you imagine the difference? So why are we not going to cultivate the healthy lifestyle? Now we talk about the mental health. Remember, the mental health, your mind, your heart. Bible said we should guard our heart with all diligence because out of it are the issues of life. So it's not just about mental illness, those that have schizophrenia or depression, anxiety. It's important, yes, that's part of it. But our emotional well-being, your psychological well-being, how is it? How healthy is it? Do you really enjoy your free time? We actually need to have a good mental health. Remember what we said about drinking and driving. You need to be in a good mental state to be able to make proper decisions. Your cognitive abilities need to be intact. Your relationships, your good mental state helps you to have, we see one of the characteristics of those that are depressed is that they like to stay alone. They don't like to interact with others. They have reduced pleasure in their pleasure. And normally what they enjoy doing, they don't have reduced pleasure. So it impacts on our social relationships. So that is why we need to have a good mental health to be able to have a good social health. We should learn to exercise our body and our mind. We've talked about exercising the body. How about exercising the mind? There are various ways you can be able to exercise our mind, and it helps to reduce all the incidences of cognitive deteriorations like dementia and stuff. How do we exercise our minds? Do simple exercises that can help enhance your memory, that can help you to be able to improve your ability to focus. Learn new skills. Learn new cooking skills. You can go on YouTube and learn cooking skills. Do things that will challenge yourself. As you're learning the cooking skills, challenge your test boards. Tell yourself, okay, can I be able to differentiate the different things that we are used to cook this food? If you go to someone's place to eat, just those simple things. They seem simple, but they are very important. They are helpful for us. Tell yourself, after tasting this food, can I tell the different things that we're used to cook this food? Learn new instruments. Try to do recalls. You say something for some time, then you try to recall. Play music. Solve mathematics in your head. You can decide to be doing 100 minus 7 minus 7 minus 7 till you get to 1. Solve mathematics in your head. Try to do things that would help you in hand-eye coordination, like drawing, painting, solving puzzles, trying to knit. These helps are very helpful. They help in delaying all those cognitive deteriorations. Then having a positive mindset. This has to do with guarding your mind with all diligence. The truth is, no matter, yes, there are many troubles and many challenges in life, but there is always good side to it. Think about the positive side. And when you do that, it's going to help us. Then talk about quality sleep. It's very important. This is the recommended hours of sleep. So I put it up here so that you check, you know how old you are. I know how old I am. So look at it. You know how old you are. Check how many hours you're supposed to be sleeping in a day. I guess most of us here should be between school age 6 to 12 years and 13 to 18, 18 to 60. Our uncle and auntie, Sam and Boke, should be between 18 to 60. They cannot be school age 18. So we'll check, look at your age and look at the recommended number of hours you're supposed to sleep in a day. So Misha, are you trying to say something? You are muted if you've been saying something.
No, you're not. I was just talking to my brother about how much sleep he needs to get.
All right, okay. So you ask yourself, am I getting quality sleep? Am I sleeping enough per day? Now we go to the social well-being. It's in your hands. We need to develop and nurture healthy relationships. Man, you cannot be an island on yourself. They say the tree cannot make a forest. So we need to learn how to be intentional about making friends. You don't just allow anybody, no, they said, show me your friend, I'll tell you who you are. Not just everybody can be your friend, but we need to develop and nurture healthy relationships. I know that they are very important to our being. It's very critical. Man is a social being. You cannot stay on your own. No, it is not possible, no matter how much you try. Even God, after creating Adam, realized, oh, it is not good for man to be alone, and created Eve for him. So that is why man is not good to be alone. So be intentional about the people that you have in your inner circle. There might be old relationships that probably, you know, this person was good, but one thing happened. Maybe somebody said something against you, and because of that, you try to be an enemy of your friend, enemy, all those kind of things. No, you can rekindle old relationships, old friendships with people you know that they were positive, they were supportive and respectful. Learn to appreciate yourself and learn to appreciate others. That's very important. You see, when you are grateful, gratitude is like a door, an open door. It leads to when you are thankful and appreciative, people would be happy with you and they would want to do more. So that is one thing that is very important. We should learn to appreciate ourselves and also learn to take care of yourself. Yes, we take care of others, but what of yourself? We also need to take care of ourselves. Because we also need to talk about spiritual health, even though it's not there, but it is important. I don't know if anybody has the Bible to open Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. I want someone to read it for us. Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. Is someone there? That's going to summarize how we are going to be able to have a good spiritual health.
Read.
But this book of the Lord shall not depart out of your mouth, but ye shall meditate therein day and night, that they may observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make their way prosperous, and thou shalt have a good success.
Thank you very much. If we want to have good success and be prosperous in all aspects of our life, both in our health, we should learn to study the Bible, meditate on the Bible. Not just you sit down and you just read, hey, when I decide I should read so and so chapters of Bible in a day. No, study, meditate, and pray. When you want to read, you ask God, what do you have in these verses I want to read for me? Not just be pointing your finger at your brother or your sister, but tell God for you. It's very important to practice spiritual health. And then practice forgiveness. Remember what Jesus said, the parable Jesus told somebody that if you're going to give an offering and you remember that your friend, your brother, your sister offended you, drop your offering there, go and reconcile first before you come back to continue giving the offering to God. That is how important forgiveness is. People can easily offend us. Sometimes the person that even offended you will not even know that he or she offended you and will continue working. You would have to now be like, see, my brother, my sister, I do not like what you did. I've forgiven you. I just wanted to tell you. Life is simple. It's not good to complicate it. Then do not forsake the Holy Assembly. This as our Holy Assembly, it's good. I'm impressed that we always come around. We should not forsake the Holy Assembly. And also don't forsake your own personal relationship with God. It is very important. As you are doing having fellowship with the brethren, which is part of the social health and spiritual, you see how everything is tied together. Your own personal relationship with God is very important. Then get a mentor. As we are growing up, it's very important that we get mentors that we can be accountable to. Sometimes, even if you want to do something, you remember, oh, what will I tell my mentor? How will I tell them I did this? Those little things can even keep you from falling, from slipping away. But remember, this starts from us having a basic relationship with God. You must be sure you have that personal encounter, that personal relationship with God first. You have accepted Jesus into your life as your personal Lord and Savior. That is where you will be able, because that is the bedrock, the foundation of having a good spiritual health. That is how you can be able to now do all these things. Then what then, as we are summarizing? How then do you do all these things? First of all, sit down, identify all those bad habits. You know yourself, I know myself. What are those things you do? Do you wake up in the night to look for what to eat? You don't walk around enough. You don't walk up to 30 minutes, just 5 days in a week. Try to start timing yourself. You know those little bad habits and those things that triggers you to do all those things. You need to identify them first. After you've identified them, tell yourself, okay, I need to make a change and I know I can do it. Don't let anybody talk you down or tell you no, you cannot do it. Tell yourself, I know I can do it. Then set up a goal, draw a plan on how you're going to do it. A SMART goal. And what is the full meaning of SMART? Who can tell us?
Specific, measurable, accountable, reasonable, time.
You got 3/5.
Acceptable. Specific, measurable, acceptable, reachable, time.
3/5. Okay, let me complete it for you. Specific, measurable, achievable, you did very well. Achievable, realistic, and timely. Tell yourself you need to do what you know is realistic. Don't just try to build castle in the air and then you know that this is not achievable. You try to, it's not possible, it's not feasible, and you want to do that. No, do something that is realistic. You can start even if it's by the way, just like I told you at the office, I can take a walk about 30 minutes or do something that is, just squeeze it in there. You can become a tourist in your own town. I remember during one of my walks was when I saw where they wrote a small thing about one woman called Barbara Howard. And she was the first Black female. I even learned something from the walk. That was where I saw that the woman was the first Black female athlete to represent Canada in an international competition. And she was the first person of color to be hired by Vancouver School Board. If not for my walks, I wouldn't have learned that. So you see how all these things are tied together. That was also during one of my walks, I saw that Captain George Vancouver was the person that the city of Vancouver was named after. That's how I learned that. So we learn to do all these things. To draw up a plan, tell yourself, okay, what do I need? I need to learn. I don't appreciate so much. I need to learn to be more appreciative. How do I create more relationships? Okay, should I start volunteering? You will be specific. Where do I need to start volunteering? How many hours in a week, depending on what I do. I need to learn to listen more to people, pay attention to nonverbal cues. I need to be able to invest more in relationships, time and resources in a safe way, in a healthy way, knowing what we are into at this moment. Then learn to also offer sincere compliment. Not just say, yeah, you're looking good because just so you belong or just so you be in the good books. No, but offer sincere compliments. Just tell yourself, okay, I have a bank account, an emotional bank account, I need to fill it up. Fill it up with words of gratitude. These are ways to be able to develop a good mental health, social health, and all around. Do it, know that this is personal for you. As you are doing it, tell yourself, you have to be patient, no rush. It can take you weeks, months, years. Take your time, one step at a time, and you'll be able to achieve whatever you set your eyes to do. Is it physical health? Draw out a plan for your physical health. How do I achieve the works? The portion control. Tell yourself once you get filled, you stop. No longer opening your belts to finish up the food. Talk about the mental health, what we've listed already. Talk about the social health. How do you become more interactive with good friends? Investing in the relationships, taking care of yourself. These are very important. So this is my summary. 3 John chapter 1, verse 2. My dear friend, this is the ARV version. The ARV. I know that you are doing well spiritually. By God's grace, we are in Christian homes. God is helping us, we are doing well spiritually. So I pray that everything else is going well with you and that you are enjoying good health. I remember the definition of health. Good mental, physical, mental, and social being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Thank you very much for your attention. Any question? I'm going to stop sharing my screen at this point.
Wow. That was great.
Sorry, I took longer than.
It's okay. So I'm going to say thank you to Chidubem for that simple, well-researched, well-delivered talk. I learned a lot. So I'm going to open the floor for people to ask questions. This is a very important topic that I know everyone has learned something and you might want to clarify something. So if you do, if you have your video, you can raise your hand or raise it using the Zoom method. I can see Josh. So Josh, go ahead.
I have a question. So, for like the food and everything, does the fruit have to be like all the fruit in that Canada's food guy, or at least like maybe 1 or 3, or what is the average number for it?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. It depends on what you have and what you can afford and what is available at that point in your house. What mommy and daddy can provide at that point. Like in my house now, I think we have carrots, we have orange, banana has finished, we have apple. So we usually blend every day with Greek yogurt and take it as smoothie. That's our way of making sure we take fruits every day. So depending on what you have at every point in time, you wouldn't have everything at every point in time. So depending on what you have, I didn't say go and task mommy and daddy, you must buy all the fruits at the same time. No. Depending on what is available in the house, but most times I know mommy and daddy will do their best to provide fruits at all times. So based on what is available, make sure you take fruits as much as you can every day. If you can take it with every meal, good. If you want to blend it, because the truth is sometimes you feel so lazy to take the stuff and be chewing it like that. So if you want to make it in a smoothie the way we do in my house to make it easier for us to take, awesome. Anything to make it easier for you to take it, please do it.
Thank you. Any other person with questions? While we wait for others, I want to ask a question. So I just discovered today that I've been inside my house, like my apartment, since Monday. The last time I went out was Monday. So I guess we're working from home anyways. So I guess that's not good. And specifically on Friday, we had an event in my workplace, and I just sat at the same place on our couch for 6 hours. I counted the number of hours from 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning. So what are, for those of us working from home, doing school from home, what are the ways? I know you mentioned like pacing around the house, but what other things can we do to make sure we are active?
Yes.
For people who are living in a house, they can just step out. For those of us who are living in maybe high rise, to even go down might be a challenge. Like, this is just my own.
All right, thank you very much. Like I told myself, one of the things I want to get for myself is my next birthday in April. Someone said, don't be lazy. For my next birthday is that wristwatch that counts your steps. You can also be connected to your phone and alerts you and tells you when to step up. It's very, if you can invest, that is a very good investment if you can get that. It times you and tells you, okay, you've sat down for so long, stand up. Even if it is to just stand up, walking in a place, if you have a place to be able to keep your laptop to be high enough, so you stand up, you are still walking, but you are standing. You are not just sitting down for the 6 hours. You sit, you stand. That is also its own, it's small, but it's something, it adds up. So your blood will be able to circulate. So if you're just sitting down there, it slows down the blood circulation. So that sitting and standing within that 6 hours, it can make you do that like every 30 minutes or 1 hour. It depends on how it is set. After some minutes, if you are sitting one place, it times you to be able to sit or stand. So if you can do that, that's good. I hope you're listening, Sam. So you are typing in the chat. All right, so that's one way. And also walking around, you walk from wherever you are sitting to the washroom and back. That's another reason why you should drink enough water. Like I drink a lot of water. I drink a lot of water, so it makes me go to the washroom often. So that is also another way to be able to inculcate. Good boy. To be able to inculcate good way. These are little things, but that little is more when God is in it. When you're intentional about it, it's very helpful. Another way is try to do, even if it is walking down the stairs. My workplace is on the 9th floor. At least 1 out of the 5 days, I try to walk the stairs. Sometimes I do it 2 or 3 times. I walk from the ground floor to the stairs.
Live on the 33rd floor.
Yes, you might not be able to do that, but you can do at least some, even if it is 3 or start with 1 or 2. You can just walk down, go to the maybe 30th floor, start with that, and walk back up. These are during your break period. After eating, you can decide to do that because usually after during break, after eating, that will do that. So these are little things. You think they don't matter, but it adds up. So these are ways to help those that are working from home. Try to sit and stand and not just sit down one place. Go to the washroom often. You go to the kitchen to get food. You walk down the stairs, up and down the stairs. So these are little ways you can help to keep yourself active, even if you don't walk out under the sun. Then once in a while, try to walk around under the sun.
Thank you. Boke?
Thank you for the talk. I have 3 questions. The first
okay.
one is, what is wrong with eating so much that you have to unlosing your pants? Like, what's wrong with that? Since you're eating to get full anyway. The second question is, what time do you recommend that we should take our last meal for the day, like to be healthy? And then if you are really, really hungry, because I study a lot at night, what healthy snacks can you recommend apart from fruit?
Okay. First one is, about losing your pants. It shows that you are full and that you're now overshooting your capacity. your normal, there is average and then there is full. So you're overshooting the average and you're not getting to too full. So if you eat and you get filled up, your pants is normal. It's not, especially when you're wearing the one that is not tight. If you're wearing the one that is not tight, then you don't have to loosen it more to be able to allow more things to enter and then your belly will shoot out. If it is one that is tight, that you have to loosen before you start eating, there's no problem. But if it's one that is normal, then you shouldn't loosen it further when you are full and you are done. Don't overshoot your normal body capacity. Your body already feels, I am full, but you think, I can add more. No, you shouldn't add more. And the second question was, I remember the last one on saying, okay, recommended when you shouldn't eat. Recommended timing is 6 p.m. You can do plus or minus 1 hour. That's the recommended timing. Then in the night, you already said the best thing to snack on are actually fruits. Sometimes some people do nuts. Nuts are healthy. Please, not in very large quantity, but you can do some nuts. Granola nuts, all those nuts, walnuts, groundnuts. You can also do nuts sometimes, which will also fill you up and which is healthy. Small, not so much. And then drink water. If you have Greek yogurt, you can take. So these are little things that are helpful.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, you know how some people have flat tummy even if they eat, and some people have like big tummies. Is big tummies unhealthy? Like, does big tummies mean that you've eaten so much that you can't even get rid of that food? Like, you can't shed the food, Do you understand my question?
I understand your question.
Yeah, okay.
People's body composition are different. Big tummy is the fat that is deposited there on the abdomen. It's actually the fat, it's not the food, it's the fat. Yes, it is the food that gets converted to now into those fats that are deposited there. That is why I know a friend that got fat at a point. He said without exercising, but with portion control, he cut down. I was a witness to his reducing. He lost I think he lost more than 20 kg with just portion control. Eating small quantity at a time. He will come out to eat, he will just eat maybe one slice of bread and that's it. For the breakfast, portion control. And he was diligent at it and did it well. So if we can reduce the calories, the quantity of food, all those big carbohydrates that will now get digested and get stored there, converted into fat and so fatty things, yes. And then exercises, there are exercises, you can always see them online, exercises that can help with your abdominal region. There are exercises that works everywhere. Swimming is good, it works on the whole body. But there are focused exercises for the abdomen. You can also do that to help burn the fat. Those exercises that after doing, even when you are done, you still be feeling the pains on your abdomen. You know that the effect is still there, it's still working. Even when you are done yourself with the exercise, it's still working throughout the day. You can also do those exercises. It's helpful to help you as well. So these are basic things we can do to help with those abdominal fats. People are very, I myself envy those that no matter what they eat, they are still flat. But some of us that that small thing you eat, it's hard. So that we have to be extra careful. We have to be more careful to help ourselves. I hope that helps.
Yes,
I have a contribution and I also have a question.
All right.
Yeah, my contribution is that, some people body works differently. Some people, if they don't work out, they lose like weight. And they do portion control. That's because your body will start eating on itself, on its fat. So you'll be losing your weight. And also, I have a question. How many liters or gallons of water do we need to take a day or like a week?
2 to 3 liters of water per day. So this is 500 ml. 500 ml is 1 liter. So that means you should for 2 liters, you should take at least 4. But for me, I think I take up to 6 in a day actually, because I drink lots of water. I think I do, if I'm not mistaken. So that means you should drink this 6 in a, this is a practical class, 6 in a day. This is 500 ml, we can see it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see.
This is 500 ml.
Yes. For too.
You said what?
As well as the advertisement for Nestle.
So this is 500 ml. So 2 to 3 liters is recommended per day. If you can take up to 3 liters, fine. If you can't, we are still small. We are still growing with time. Remember, no rush. Be patient with yourself. It can take time. I remember I had a friend that when he said he was taking, I think he said he was taking 1 liter, 1.5. I was like, okay, you need to increase. And he's still increasing. He was taking 1 liter, now increased to 1.5, like that, small. So take your time. You can start with 1.5, 2 liters, like that, small, you start increasing. So recommended quantity of water per day is 2 to 3 liters per day.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. My issue that I have with water is that you just keep going to the washroom all the time.
It's a form of exercise.
Yeah, but is there a point that your body will get used to that much water and you don't have to go to the washroom all the time?
I do not think so. Because if your kidney is functional, then it will excrete the water very well and quickly. When your kidney is not functional, then your body will start storing it, and then you now start having edema, your body starts swelling, your legs start swelling and stuff. So if your kidney is functional very well, then it should be able to work and excrete the water. And that is why when you drink lots of water, you notice your urine is very dilute. But if you don't drink lots of water, it will be so concentrated, it will almost be green. Green. But if you drink good water every day, then it will almost be like color of water.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chidubem Okechukwu. We've learned so much from today's meeting and seminar. And as we close, I just want everyone to, as a gift to Chidubem, to kind of reflect and choose one action point, like starting today or tomorrow, as the case may be. This is what I'm gonna start to do.
Good.
Yeah, you don't need to mention because it might be personal, but I guess that would be a good one. That starting from today, this is what I think I can start with. Just like you said, you need to start from somewhere, and so that in the next few days and weeks and months, you can see that changes you really desire to see.